As the Xbox One is one of the biggest gaming platforms available in the world today, you can expect to find plenty of highly rated bangers that you can enjoy for hours on end. However, as you'd expect on a console that sees dozens of games released every month, there are a fair few underrated Xbox One games that have slipped through the cracks that aren't as fondly spoken about as other titles. Seeing how the Xbox One is now approaching the end of its life cycle with the Series X now out in the wild as long as you can apparently defeat Skynet's scalpers, now seems like as good a time as any to highlight some of the less played or noticed hits from Xbox's current generation. There's a decent variety of titles here when it comes to both size and genre, so you should definitely find something to enjoy. Before that though, if you could just go and tickle the like button and smash the subscribe, we will look you in the eyes in a way that conveys respect without making it overtly awkward. 10. Descenders. Mountain biking and roguelike seem like two genres that wouldn't be caught dead with each other, but somehow Descenders manages to blend both into a concoction that works surprisingly well. Though usually it doesn't work out too well for your rider. Expect to see them ploughing headfirst into a tree or rock at almost every opportunity. The career mode sees players taking on a series of randomly generated mountain tracks that vary in their steepness, curvature and stunt jumps. Along the way you'll take on challenge maps, special bonus stages and unlock upgrades that not only improve both your own abilities in that run, but also modify the difficulty of the tracks. It's an absorbing experience that's worth checking out via Game Pass, if you get the chance. Don't let this one descend from your watchlist. 9. Clustertruck. If you're in the mood to get a little bit frustrated at a physics-based platformer that you can't help but feel is intentionally working against you, Clustertruck is the game for you. The premise is incredibly simple, as you find yourself standing atop a fleet of trucks and you're tasked with surviving until you reach the goal. Sounds easy, right? No, Clustertruck is a demanding title that throws a variety of challenges at you. Expect to be leaping from truck to truck as they drive aimlessly off cliffs, into laser fields and across lava. Fortunately, there's a variety of power-ups and gadgets you can use to make your life easier, but if you're a masochist, like me, you'll be aiming for the achievement to complete the entire game without them. It's hard, but doable, especially if you cheese the last boss. Or you could just be like Cultured Vultured boss Jimmy and just scream the swear that the game's name is hinting at over and over again. 8. Quantum Break. Talk about Remedy Entertainment and you can expect conversations about the quality of the first two Max Payne titles, Alan Wake and 2019's superb Control. However, let us shine some light on Remedy's often forgotten about Xbox exclusive Quantum Break. Sure, it was a bit of a weird, ambitious title that might not have fully paid off, but there's a lot to love about the time-based adventure. Equal parts narrative adventure, third-person shooter and sci-fi quality TV show, Quantum Break follows Jack Joyce as he tries to save the world from a time fracture while being pursued by his former friend turned villain Paul Serene. With Jack able to use his time powers to get an advantage in combat, Quantum Break is definitely an underrated title. If nothing else, Quantum Break is a fascinating experiment from a time when Microsoft were utterly, terrifyingly obsessed with making the Xbox One into some TV gaming mutant. 7. Glass Masquerade. Sometimes games don't need to be an epic narrative adventure or huge bombastic shoot 'em up to be worthy of your attention. Sometimes a game can simply offer some relaxing vibes, which is exactly what the world could do with more of right now. And the Glass Masquerade and its sequel, Illusions, offer exactly that. A puzzle game in the most literal sense, Glass Masquerade sees players solving jigsaw puzzles that feature a variety of stained glass art. The art itself is beautiful once the pieces have fallen into place, but Glass Masquerade is essentially the perfect podcast Spotify game. Just load up your favourite playlist and get to work. You'll be surprised at how engrossing it can be. Don't worry though, you won't need tracing paper, an abacus and several online courses to get through this, unlike The Witness. 6. Way of the Passive Fist. You want to talk about underrated beat-em-ups? You can save your Streets of Rage 4s and your Double Dragon Neons, though both games are still incredible, but for our money, one of the most slept on beat-em-ups on the market is Way of the Passive Fist. That might just be because it's got less of a beat-em-up, more of a parry-em-up, but still. Taking control of the Wanderer, you roam the wastelands of a desolate planet, dodging and parrying your way past the bandits that plague the planet. Once you've tired them out, you can give them the old worm's prod and they'll be dealt with. It sounds silly, but it presents a real challenge and a unique experience in a genre that can simply be boiled down to move right and crack skulls. It's also available for about as much as a slightly fancy sandwich, so stop wasting time. 5. Omensight. Omensight took its time coming to the Xbox One, having launched previously on the PS4 and PC back in May 2018. It was even ported to the Nintendo Switch in December of the same year before coming to the big green brand in the middle of 2019. Despite being available for over a year prior to its Xbox One launch, Omensight is still an underrated game, and that needs to change. Third-person action-adventure game, you control the mythical Harbinger, who only appears at moments of great crisis so they can save the world. The murder of the High Priestess has caused a great cataclysm, so the Harbinger must use their Omensight power to relive the world's last day repeatedly in an attempt to understand who the murderer is. It's an interesting premise and one that Omensight more than lives up to. 4. Ruiner. Much like our love for Titanfall 2, and we'll get to that, this channel's appreciation for the brutal cyberpunk world of Ruiner is well documented and well founded. If you're after top-down, twin-stick shooters that blend incredible style with more than its fair share of violence, Ruiner is the cure for what ails you. Seriously, you owe it to yourself to check this one out. As the silent protagonist referred to only as Puppy, you find yourself roaming the futuristic city of Renkok in an attempt to rescue your brother from the city's more shadowy elements. In order to do this, you'll be shooting, battering and bludgeoning your way through hordes of goons, unlocking a variety of upgrades and abilities that can be used in a variety of configurations. You'll come for the style and stay for the fantastic gameplay. Be a good puppy and play this one as soon as you can. 3. A Plague Tale: Innocence. Plague Tale: Innocence certainly managed to capture the hearts and minds of reviewers and awards bodies when it launched last year, and has even managed to sell over 1 million copies across all platforms, which is an impressive feat for a AA indie experience. That said, it still feels like the game doesn't quite get the recognition it fully deserves. A third-person stealth game set during the midst of the 100 Years' War, you control Amicia de Rune as she tries to protect her brother Hugo from the Holy Inquisition. She's also got to contend with the recent emergence of a particularly violent strain of disease-riddled rats. Never a dull moment for poor Amicia, but as a game, it's a completely enthralling experience that's currently available on Xbox Game Pass. Asobo are a studio on the up, having also worked on Flight Simulator, so a sequel to this gem seems inevitable. Number 2. Titanfall 2. Sandra, the Titanfall 2 klaxon, we've mentioned it again! It's a bit of an open secret on this YouTube channel that we believe Titanfall 2 is one of the finest shooters of the 8th generation, so here we go letting our feelings be known on the matter once again. With a stellar campaign and fantastic gameplay, Respawn Entertainment is a much better alternative for those who are sick of Apex Legends. The main campaign follows Titan and Pilot, BT-7274 and Jack Cooper respectively, as part of the Frontier Militia trying to hold back the oppressive IMC, and it's a narrative that will linger long in the memory. With an impressive multiplayer offering that still hosts a healthy amount of players, Titanfall 2 is worth every penny, especially considering as it seems to go on sale on the Xbox One every other week. Buy it and then buy it again. Don't care, just let EA know we need a third game. And at number 1, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Not many people outside the critic echo chamber appear to be talking about Sayonara Wild Hearts, but it certainly deserves its spot on this list. Publishers Annapurna Interactive have made a name for themselves for curating and publishing smaller games that leave a lasting impression, and Sayonara Wild Hearts from developer Simogo might just be their best yet. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a hard game to quantify as it doesn't really conform to normal genres, its closest comparison being fellow Xbox One titles like Aero or Avicii Vector, both of which you should also check out. Essentially, it's an interactive pop album filled with vibrant and imaginative worlds, backed by a heartwarming story of love which is open to interpretation that'll keep you on your toes until the credits roll. It's short, it's sweet, and you'll be humming the tunes until the day you die. Say sayonara to your worries and slip into one of the most comforting, innovative games out there, regardless of platform. And there you have it folks, that is our list of the 10 most underrated Xbox One games. As ever, did you agree? Did you disagree? Please sign off in the comments down below, would love to hear what you're thinking. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, subscribing to the YouTube channel and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content right here on the Cultured Vultures YouTube channel. Additionally, you can check us out on all the other social medias on screen now, including the Cultured Vultures website. We hope you enjoyed the video, we hope to see you in the next one, but until then, good call.